Good morning. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP Bangladesh. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP Bangladesh. Thank you all for joining us today and staying with us till the end. Honorable Knowledge Seeker, today I am your host for the morning. My name is Bathun Das. I am from Bangladesh, dear Knowledge Seeker. I am proud to be associated with IGP as a global member. IGP is a social and ISO certified international training institute. In 3 years, we already served 3 million plus knowledge seekers from 100 plus countries. IGP is internationally recognized and globally accredited. We are connected to more than 250 plus professions and 4,500 plus organizations. Institute of Global Professional is a training faculty for skill development which was founded in 2020 and is generating competent candidates to meet demand in the global labor market by providing professional qualifications. The Institute of Global Professional is an educational institute that provides social work globally recognized and reportable. We serve student and community resource providing holistic social work and education. We believe that it's not effective to increase one skill just by acquiring formal education. So we try to provide effective training and consultation to generate proficient generation all over the world. We distribute our services locally, nationally, and internationally to students, job seeker, job holder, and also for learners the respective campus location and distance learning platform. We are an occupational and dependable institute. IGP is one of the famous online institutes from all over the world. Our vision is education is not a business product, it's a part of our human right. Based on our vision, we are trying to reach all corners of the world for free webinars, seminar courses, award, quiz competition, mentoring, and counseling, etc. On the other side, we also try to serve more than 100 premium services for free, like create portfolio, resume builder, cover letter, motivation letter, and wall knowledge platform. Sorry. Kids learning game, website free courses, converse sites, and many more. We help to empower youth to learn to meet their expectation and dream and become highly skilled people. We implement several training program, webinar, and offline online courses for youth and learners by professional trainer, speaker, and coaches. Our sessions are conducted by globally senior professionals to develop all kind of youth and to promote the education of their abilities and personalities. To ensure excellent and in-depth instruction, we arrange with qualified trainer, speaker, and instructor. We extended free services to more than 3 million knowledge seekers in last 3 years. We have affiliation with universities and organizations. Virtual mode signing with many colleges and organizations have been accomplished. We are working to create a legendary generation of future scholars who will be accountable. We are constantly prepared to assist all knowledge seekers with valuable service. Spreading knowledge is crucial for the Institute of Global Profession. We believe that knowledge is love and light and vision. So we try to understand the needs of today's generation and will serve them with good research and practice method. We must have a genuine concern for the learner we represent. More diversity, growth, and innovation are required to lead a session professional passion and integrity. IGP members are committed to offering effective best quality service and continual improvement so that individuals who seek information can improve their skill level and growth. Before we move to the next, let me remind don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. The support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Before we move to the next, let me remind don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Moving to the next, with your continuous support, we already completed 1,142 webinars successfully. Wow. Moving to the next, with your continuous support, we already completed 1,242 webinars successfully. Wow. And we are going to start our 1,243 program name is Oral Language Across Languages, and today our speaker's name is Jordan P. De La Rose. Before I hand over the stage, I want to share a very little bit about our today's speaker, sir. He is an Luzon Elementary School, Luzon, Batangas City, Philippines. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with his presentation. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with his presentation. Hello, sir. Good morning.
Yes, hello, good morning. It's good afternoon here in the Philippines and good day to everyone.
Sir, now the stage is yours. You can start your presentation.
Okay, thank you so much for our lovely hosts and thank you for the introduction. So, this afternoon, this morning, this day, I want to share my training that I attended during pandemic. This training is from Department of Education here in the Philippines, and I want to share all of you all the knowledge that I got from that training. So at first, what can you see in the picture? I prepared a picture for you. Maybe some of you will say, "Oh, all children are doing their task." The teacher are talking to a child and most of the children are talking to each other. Of course, this is the best scenario in a classroom situation around the world. And today our topic is all about oral language across languages. So it's from my division, division of Batangas City, schools division of Batangas City, where I am working at now. Okay, so at first, I would like to tell you our curriculum here in the Philippines. Maybe all over the world they are using this curriculum too, but it is not on the same name or maybe they have their own term. But here in the Philippines, this is what you call K to 12 curriculum, starting from kindergarten, grade 1 up to grade 12. So, what are the features of the K to 12 curriculum? First, it is learner centered. Of course, it is inclusive and research based. The next one is standards and competence based, seamless, decongested, culture responsive and culture sensitive, integrative and contextualized, relevant. Another one is flexible, ICT based, and global. So all of us are talking about our own curriculum. And maybe as I told you, you have your own unique name for that curriculum. And that is what we call, yes, it's learning. Okay? A relevant and responsive curriculum. It is flexible. Of course, it is learner centered. And then, during this, what we call 21st century skills among our learners, we want to develop their skills, updated as our 21st century learner. So it is holistically developed among, here in my country, among Filipino, with 21st century skills. Of course, the first one, it is also based from information, media, and technology skills. Of course, all our learners or all of our children, they must be, introduced to technology. Number one, it is visual and information literacies. Because of the technology, of course, most of our children, most of our learners, they can read, they can see information in different websites, and that is what we call visual and information literacies. It can be media literacy and also basic scientific, economic, and technological literacies and multicultural literacy. And it's also global awareness. And the second one is it focus also on learning and innovation skills. If it is all about innovation, the skills that they need to develop is what they must be creative. and curious. That's why creativity and curiosity. They also must develop and practice also the critical thinking, problem solving skills. And of course, the 21st century skill that our learners must have is the risk taking. Because of this risk, most of our learners will learn from that. And the third one is the communication skills. Through these communication skills, the collaboration and interpersonal skills must also develop. And the last one is the life and career skills. Our learners in this, 21st century again, they are flexible and adaptable. They are, they have the initiative and self direction. They are also social and cross-cultural skills and productivity and accountability. The fifth one is the leadership and responsibility. The sixth one is ethical, moral, and spiritual values. So because of the skills during this 21st century and also based from our curriculum, which is the K to 12 curriculum, then we have. Yes, these are the domains in K to 12 curriculum and focused on 21st century skills among learners. As you can see, the first one is the oral language. This oral language started from kindergarten up to grade 12. So today, our focus is oral language. As you can see, oral language, going to the study skills below, it started from K to 3, but the first among all of them is the oral language. The oral language is the most important domain among kindergarten learners to grade 12 learners. Okay? So as you can see again, we have oral language, phonological awareness, book and print knowledge, alphabet knowledge, and so on and so forth. Okay? And then, as I told you, our topic is all about oral language. And the question is, why oral language? Why? Because based on by Martha Cummings, the oral language is the first step among our learners to learn what? To learn how to, okay? To speak, to learn how to read, to learn how to read with comprehension, to decode, to spell what they know based from the language that they are using since they are open their mind in this kind of language. So why is oral language? Because it is the first step and the most crucial and important language on how the learner will learn to speak, of course, write, read, and with comprehension. And then, how do children learn to talk? Okay? So, how? Of course, they require what? They require good speaking and listening models. As an educator, or maybe as a parent, we must be their models. Okay? If we use the good speaking and listening models for our children, for our learners, of course, they will learn to talk. Number two is an interactive environment. Who can say that an environment that people around the children or the learner is not, using a language, and then suddenly they will learn how to talk or how to speak. Of course, there is not like that. They need interactive environment. What they can hear, of course, they can say and they can talk about it. And the third one is the exposure to books and games. So as of the moment, as of this time, I know that most of our learners, most of our children, they have the exposure in games and also books in our school. And through that, they will learn talking, encouragement to play and make believe because of some movies, some textbook that they read. Of course, they are doing make believe. That's why they learn talking and an introduction to rhymes and songs. This is the, I mean, very active and interactive what activity inside the school because of the games, because of the rhymes, of course, the songs. The children can learn talking. And then another one is encouragement to talk in a variety of situations with a variety of people. Okay? So you need to encourage our learner, our children, through their group activities inside the school, through going to some other places to mingle with other kind of or group of people. They will learn to talk, and of course also repetitive language, a purpose for talking. You need to talk the for them to ask something, something that is a purpose of talking. And another one is an expectation to communicate and opportunities to use and practice language. So, as an educator, or maybe as a parent, we can notice some of our learners that why they are not yet talking, why they are not on the same stage as the other learner or as other children. We must also know that we have different language difficulties. So for our information, we have the first one is what we call language delay. Oh, what is language delay? It is the acquisition of skills behind peers, but developmental order is the same, but it is remediable. Okay. The second one is language disorder. Difficulties or skills not seen in normal development, maybe remedied through therapy. Okay. And then what is language impairment? Deficit skills are not able to be remedied, lifelong difficulties. Okay? And of course, other factor why our learner, our children didn't talk, don't know how to talk because of these causes. The first one is hearing loss, genetic predisposition, siblings talking for them, language poor environment, psychological, maybe it's trauma, intellectual or physical impairment, autism, cultural factors, maybe English as a second language, okay? And then the question is, how does language affect learning? Because of the our topic, which is oral language, how does language affect learning? So it is said, or it is says that language demands of the classroom. Language delays and disorders will impact on all areas of curriculum. Example, in mathematics, in the concept of that, necessary for comparing and categorizing according to number, shape, and size. As for example, what is the number before? Okay, before 20. Sort the elephants from smallest to largest. So it requires what? It requires it gives demand. Oh, we must give emphasis on some words, some impact of the words that we are using inside the classroom or in our house. And of course, if there is or there are language problems, language delays, causes for language delays, we have also the strategies to improve language. Of course, the first one, we must simplify it. How can we do simplifying? Simplify your language when the child doesn't understand. Of course, maybe or most of the time, if we are using higher kind of words or level, they will not understand it and they will not talk. So, the solution is we need to simplify our language. The second one is model and repair. If they don't know how to do what they do, of course you must first model. And if they speak, they use language which is not acceptable and not correct, you need to repair it for them. Okay? Maybe grammar, maybe spelling, or maybe the sound. We need to model and repair for them to improve their language. And another one is offering a choice. You need to offer them a choice. This technique significantly reduces the complexity of the response. For example is what? Where's Spot? No response. The question is he under the chair or the table? Of course, they will talk because you are offering a choice by answering yes, no, okay? Focusing on important information. So, if you are going to ask them, if you're going to tell them something, you need to focus on important information. This technique helps children identify the part of the requests they should be attending to. For example, how are these flowers different? Yes, they are different. What color is this flower? Oh, specifically, you are going to tell the color so that they will talk. They will answer, oh, it's red. And what is the color of this one? Oh, it's yellow, maybe, or orange, etc. And the third one is relating a known to the known. So if they don't know something, maybe they experience it so that you can relate it like this. The technique helps students to make meaning by activating prior knowledge. Maybe they forgot it, maybe they experienced it. For example, the spaghetti is hard. Of course, they always like to eat spaghetti. How will it feel when it is cooked? I don't know. Maybe they answer like that. Remember, when we cook potatoes, how did they feel? Okay, maybe they will answer it's soft. So, through that, they will improve their language and ask open-ended questions. So that is the easiest way on how our learners, our children will use language. Okay, like yes, no for the answers. And another is this is the strategies that maybe you need to not use, or it is says that do not, okay, do not ask another child the answer. As a teacher, based on my experience, it is uh, it is a practice that if the child doesn't know the answer, you need to what, to call another friend, another child, another group of children to answer. But to improve their language, do not ask another child. Make it like the strategies that I told you. You need to what? To make it another kind of level on how you ask or how the children will answer that so that they will improve language. Another thing is you need to challenge the response when it is wrong. Okay, maybe you can ask, why do you think that? Okay, maybe they will reason out. Say no. You need to stop saying no because these responses affect a child's self-esteem. Maybe they are thinking like, oh, my answer is wrong. They know they are wrong and will gradually not participate, okay? And then stay with the same child to get the answer by providing prompts or strategies that I already told you, okay? And it is said that learning a new language, what is involved? So what is involved in learning new language? Based on the strategies and all the knowledges from our first slides. So what is involved in learning a new language? So let's see. So here is what researchers says or say about learning new language. We learn a language when, number one, we listen and respond to real messages, of course. Another is learning a language is not about learning rules of grammar or listening and repeating words, okay? And then, and the best process for language learning, number one, the first one. The first is listening and responding in action. Then they will speak or then speaking. And then if they can speak, as I told you, they will write and read. So that is the best process for learning language. Okay, let's have the first, the listening. So as a kindergarten teacher, students learn a new language best when they listen and respond to clear and interesting speech in a non-threatening situation. Of course, as a kindergarten teacher, I experienced that. Most of my learners, they like to play. They like what? To listen stories. They like to do with other learners. So through listening, of course, they can mingle, they can respond. Okay? And then through that, they have their own language. When I mean talking to each other, they are using their oral language. So forcing them to speak too soon and insisting on correct pronunciation and grammar hinders their successful learning. Okay? And then speaking. We have the meaningful speaking together with meaningful listening. The word meaningful is very, useful in oral language. Helps students become aware of the structure of the language and helps them become more competent in its use. So, oral proficiency in the target language of critical importance for the development of reading comprehension among third and fourth grade students. The speaking skills, the oral proficiency based from their classes from kindergarten, grade 1, grade 2, okay? And then, of course, if they are in third and fourth grade, or I mean grader, they, of course, they can have their oral proficiency. And then reading and writing. So in reading and writing, it is says by Jim Cummins, children's knowledge and skills transfer across languages from the mother tongue to the school language. Here in the Philippines, we have our subject mother tongue. And the focus of this is we will use the language or the first language they know in their place, in their environment, and then what is the use of mother tongue so that they can understand easily, speak easily on the language that they know already. And then if they have that language, step by step, we will transfer it to the language that are using by everybody. Okay? So through that, reading and writing will develop. And then I have here the TPR. And what is TPR? It is total physical response. If we have this TPR, okay, we have the second language or the third language that the children or that we know. So let's have this. And the TPR, as I told you, uh, it provide learners with opportunities to hear, see, and respond to directions. So total physical response activities provide the learners with opportunities to use what? The language themselves but always in relaxed and enjoyable situations. No, it is based from our slides, the former slides. I mean, the slides that we already done. It is now what we call the TPR. So it's the name TPR allows learners to acquire what? The second language and the third language, not the mother tongue, because mother tongue is the first language, okay? Vocabulary in manner and similar to the way that they learned their first language. All of the language in TPR is immediately understandable, involves actions, and allows learners to pass through a silent period, whereby they build a comprehension base before being asked to speak. Of course, they will, use their thinking skills first. No, they will be like silent because they are listening. They are listener, and then through that knowledge that they have there in mind, and then they will comprehend on it, and then if they have these skills that comprehension, of course they will use their mouth to what? To speak. Okay, so that is all about the TPR. So we have types of TPR. So, as I told you, TPR is total physical response. So, we have TPRB using our body, TPRO using our objects, TPRP using our pictures, and TPRS using our stories. And then, so TPR sessions are divided into two parts. Number one, let's have this. Teacher and two student volunteers to model the response to commands. So it's 25% of the time. Because in our class, in our day-to-day learning, the teacher, most specifically, the teacher always model what? Model the commands, model what the learning we have or we had during that day, so that the commands, the directions will give to our learners, they will have this physical response. Okay, number two, rest of the students respond to the commands. As I told you, the students or the learners in our classroom, as in 75% of the time, they will respond on our commands as their teacher. When they're ready, students can give the commands themselves. If you know they give you they gave you gave them the task like group activities, of course our learners will talk. Our learners where I mean they will give different commands to their group co-workers in the group. So this total physical response is useful. I mean, they experience this. They will do, of course, during their group activities or inside our classes. So what is or what kinds of TPR can we use? Let's try this. And the total physical response using our body. So as I told you, the teacher always tells and demonstrate the students to do something with their bodies. So specifically, and the most example is our blocks of time in kindergarten. So we have this songs, different songs with actions, the morning exercise. Okay, they as their teacher, I always demonstrate it first until they know the action, they know the lyrics of the song, and of course they learn to speak about it. Teacher then asks two volunteers to do the action. Students do the action. So at first the teacher, and then maybe you will ask some learner or the leader of the class to do the action, and other members will also do the action later. Okay, and then what is TPR object? It is what? It is focus on object, what they will do on object, on a certain object, like pick up your pen, pick up your notebook, your paper, okay? So that is the, it requires response from your learners, okay? Using their body, but on the object you are pertaining to. Teacher, then teacher and the two volunteers demonstrate the actions, of course, the same procedure. Maybe in our class, in my class, I always say, okay, the leader go to the front and tell what is our news for today, what is the day for today, what is our weather for today, okay? And then the action is they are going to pick the picture of the particular weather they are going to present. They're going to pick the flashcard as an object for this, okay? TPR drawing. So here, in my class, as a kindergarten teacher, I always draw using a chalk or a chalkboard and demonstrate the response. So the teacher says also the directions again and volunteers to demonstrate the response. Like, okay, go to the front, okay, draw a big circle, and then make a square in the middle of the circle. Through that, the response of our learners using our own language, using our direction for them to do the tasks, they understand it, and later they will explain what they draw on the board. Through that, they will use their language or oral language. Then the TPR picture, listen and point. So using PowerPoint presentation in our classes, it is easily for our learners to what? To listen and point what we are talking about based on the presentation that we are using for them. Most specifically again in my class, I always what? Use pictures, different pictures to discuss with them, to use for them in what? In making them learn how to express their feelings about the picture, express through words, okay, by pointing and telling what is on the picture. And then TPR picture respond to questions. Okay, this is most, used in our classes. So what can you say about the picture? What is the color of the tree? How many people are there in the picture? Okay, so by showing a big picture, like in a familiar setting, you will ask them a short question based on the picture that you are using. Okay, then TPRS, listen, then act out a story. Oh, this is, I'm also teaching as of now grade 5 learners. So it is very, and I always use the acting activity for them. And as I can see, by giving them the task to act out some situation, a story, they are always using their oral language. They have their planning by talking to each other, by brainstorming, and then it comes from their mouth and from their mind to make a setup and make a situation wherein they can show uh, later in our class, and that is TPRS, or listen then act out a story, the story, okay? Then when they are ready, encourage children to start giving directions to each other, move to longer, more complex activities. So, as the Department of Education or in our learning classroom learning situation, this is very useful and evident that we must start from what from simple to complex. So as a simple starting, we need to use modeling, giving directions to them and then to each other, and then give them more another activities until going to complex activities. And as I told you, uh, oral language through modeling as an educator, through from their peers, from their classmate, from their environment, starting from home, they will learn how to talk. They will learn how to understand every word that comes from the model, that comes from the teacher, that comes from us, that comes from their mothers, their father. Okay? So, this topic, oral language across languages, I want you to learn that oral language is very useful on how our learner, on how our children learn to talk. Okay? So, as a kindergarten teacher, I want to share this knowledge or this presentation that to open our mind that there are many factors in our environment, in our actions that will improve, that will develop their oral language. It is not the second language, it is not the third, but the first one. It can say in my place that it is the mother tongue, but in most specifically the language is the oral language. Okay, the word is oral language. And as you can see again in our picture, for I think this is the end of my presentation. As you can see, most of our children in the picture, even they are in kindergarten stage, maybe they are not in doing the schooling, they can learn talking. You know, the environment like this, like the park, they can mingle different kind of people. They can play with different children. They can, can see and talk to different workers in our place. Through that, opening their hearts and mind, their eyes in different kind of places and situations, through talking to them, through giving directions, through modeling to them. As you can see in the picture, they use their oral language gradually. Okay, so as you can see, this oral language is very important and critical to our kindergarten learners in a first stage of their life as a child. So we need to help them through the techniques, through the learnings from this presentation. So again, this oral language will lead them, all of our children, all of our learners, to what? To speak, to read, to write, and read with comprehension. And that is our target as an educator. And that is our target in Department of Education here in the Philippines. Of course, I mean worldwide. It is our target as an educator to make them learn, to make them use what they learn from us, what they learn from different factors inside and outside classroom. So this presentation is, will help every one of us, all of us listening now, to guide our children, to use this in the future in our children. And this will end for my presentation and our topic all about oral language across languages. Okay? So that's all for today, and thank you very much for listening. Thank you so much to
Thank you
IGP
so
and to
so much,
all.
sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your rich content presentation, which can impact our knowledge seeker surely. After your presentation, I hope our knowledge seeker can learn something new, which was our only intention. Learn and grow together, IGP knowledge seeker. Once again, thank you so much, dear sir, for your presentation. Now, sir, it's time for our question answer session, which is the one more valuable part of our regular webinar. Please stay with us. After a short video, we will start our session part 2, which is the question answer part. Dear knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have an webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Welcome back, sir. Welcome back to our participants. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have an webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have an webinar certification and online quiz competition.
I think they don't have
Dear
any
IGP knowledge
question.
seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have an webinar certification and online quiz competition. Push. Sir, I think after your beautiful presentation, there is no question from our participants.
I think so.
So once again, thank you so much, sir, for honorable sir, for your time in IGP. We have learned a lot from you with new topics. It will add some value to our day-to-day activity along with our academic and professional growth. Honorable sir, hope to see you again with a new topic and a new day. Thank you, sir. Take care. Honorable sir, before we move to the next, our webinar certification process, if you want to leave this studio, you can, sir. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, it's time for the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar, which is an webinar certification process. Through the certification process, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, it's time for our webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certifications. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, we are very sorry to say today of our technical problem, we can't share our today's webinar code. We will provide the code in a short time. Thank you. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, it's time for the quiz competition, the most attractive part of our regular webinar. Which is now time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. Now, time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. Go to www.slido.com and find today's quiz or scan this QR for direct joining. Quiz code is morning. After a short video, we will start our quiz session. Let's mention your friend to join our quiz session and don't forget to share, mention, and tag your friend to join our quiz session. Please join in Slido with the code and the code is morning. Please join in Slido with the code and the code is morning. Please join in Slido with the code and the code is morning. Please join in Slido with the code and the code is morning. Please join in Slido with the code and the code is morning. With 24 people, we are going to start our session right now. Our first question of the session is a simplified language based on two separate languages. Option 1, Pidgin. Option 2, Lingua France. Option 2, Lingua France. Right answer, 78% people are right here. The leaderboard, Maricel is holding the first position. Our second question is the most commonly understood language used among people who speak several different languages. Option 1, Anamism. Option 2, Lingua France. Option 2, Lingua France. The right answer, 54% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Marcel is holding the first position. Our third question is, why are are the Kyrgyzstan language spoken. Option 1, the Sahara. Option 2, Southern Desert. Option 2, Southern Desert is the right answer. 63% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Marcel is holding the first position. Our fourth question is, what is Estonian language? Option 1, a language that is taught and used. Option 2, English. Option 1, a language is that taught and used. The right answer. 60% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Kingway is holding the first position. Our fifth question is, what language family does Wolf belong to? Option 1, Kyosan. Option 2, Niger Kanko. Option 2, Niger Kanko is the right answer. 44% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Marcel is holding the first position. Our sixth question is, this figurative language is an exsanguinage beyond grief. Option 1, hyperbole. Option 2, alliteration. Option 1, hyperbole is the right answer. 76% people are right here. The leaderboard, Marcel is holding the first position. Our second question is, what is the largest African language family? Option 1, Niger-Congo. Option 2, Nilo-Saharan. Option 1, Niger-Congo is the right answer. 64% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Flami is holding the first position. Our eighth question is, what language is used in the expert? Option 1, Spanish. Option 2, Filipino. Option 2, Filipino is the right answer. 24% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Akinsola is holding the first position. Our ninth question is, which of the following is not a property of human language? Option 1, semantics. Option 2, replacement. Option 2, replacement is the right answer. 70% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Akinsola is holding the first position. Our last and final question of the morning session is, queries saying an expression specified to a language are called. Option 1, idiom. Option 2, irony. Option 1, idiom is the right answer. 86% people are right here. Congratulations to our online quiz competition winner, top 10. Congratulations again. Slido will take a few minutes for finalizing the result, and after that, we will issue our online quiz completion certificate on our official Facebook page and group, Institute of Global Professional. Congratulations to our online quiz competition winner, top 10. Congratulations again. Slido will take a few minutes for finalizing the result, and after that, we will issue our online quiz competition certificate on our official Facebook page and group, Institute of Global Professional. Congratulations to our online quiz competition winner, top 10. Congratulations again. Slido will take a few minutes for finalizing the result, and after that, we will issue our online quiz competence certificate on our official Facebook page and group, Institute of Global Professional. At the end moment of our session, we can say properly feed your skill, never stop learning, cause life never stop teaching us. Be happy and stay safe. See you again and again. We want your participation in every program. If you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people of things, Albert Einstein. Before I say or hit the end like button, once again, thanks to all IGP Knowledge Seeker for your active participation as always. See you again in the next session. Thank you.